What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 50 of the Charge to the Top here with Hereford FC. And today, well, to mark the occasion that is 50 episodes, I've got a live com doubleheader for you guys. First, we're going to take on Crewe away from home. Following on from that, we're going to be taking on Bury at home. Two fairly big games in the context of our season. Of course, it's a shame that this kind of landmark, I guess, of 50 episodes didn't coincide with, a massive game or a transfer window or anything like that. So I could maybe show you some more exciting stuff going on between games. But nevertheless, it should be a good episode today. Get your popcorn ready, get comfortable. Of course, I just want to say before we get into today's episode, thank you for your support on this series. It's not necessarily been the series of mine that's had the most views, if I'm being completely honest, but it's a save that I'm having a lot of fun playing, really enjoying being kind of at Hereford here, really enjoying the project of it all, kind of developing the players, turning over the players. It's all a really kind of good fun experience that I'm having. That's all you can really ask for with a Football Manager save. And, well, yeah, we've got two games against Crewe and Bury today. Anyway, since the last episode, we have played a fair few games, and it's not been plain sailing. I think that would be the kind of the fair way to put it. You kind of look at us here. We've played, 8 games in all competitions, 6 in the league. We've only won 1 game in the league. We've only lost 2 games in the league, but the draws have finally started coming, having not drawn in our opening kind of 11 or 12 games into the season. As you can see, we've had a fair few of them in this recent run of form. Anyway, the first result we had here against Walsall, a win, or what I thought was going to be a win, until the 87th minute where Jordan Bataka scored for them in the 87th minute. It was heartbreaking. Debatably, I could have gone more defensively, but at the same time, I don't know, we dominated the game for large spells, and Walsall, they took the opportunity that came their way and probably deserved a share of the spoils in the end. Following on from that, it's one of those things like a bus, isn't it? You don't get a draw in for ages and then you get 2 in a row, and there was a second one here, this time against Southend, a game which we went down in kind of very early on. I made some changes at half-time. And they worked. We had Kevin Kelly come off and Liam Evans come on. He got man of the match, got a goal. Unfortunately for Liam, since his broken foot, this is the only goal he scored in all competitions, so it's not great for him. He did get the man of the match award in this game, but unfortunately for us, Antonio German for them scored in the 65th minute, and Cameron McGeehan, he lost his head a little bit. He got sent off in injury time right at the end. A straight red. It was a bad tackle. Can't argue with it. And yeah, a draw, what we had to settle for in the end away from home there. Anyway, in our next game, we took on Preston, a team who, they're going quite strong in the league, if we're being honest. They beat us 1-0. You kind of look at the stats, you might think, Jack, you deserve to win this game. I'd agree with that. We probably did. Unfortunately, though, we didn't, and that's what really matters here. Preston did very, very well. Daniel Lewis with the goal in the 40th minute, which was the winner. Worth noting with Preston, I think they're kind of quite high up in the league, but they've only lost 2 games all season. They've drawn a fair few, but they are a team going fairly strong, so it wasn't the worst result in the world. Anyway, the next game we had here against Port Vale, a 2-1 win. We were kind of holding on right at the death, if I'm being completely honest. Will Packwood with the man of the match performance, playing very, very well at centre-back still. And yeah, James Maddison playing well. You'll notice in this game, David Short starting at centre-back alongside Packwood. The reason for that being is Harry Lennon, of course, club captain, really a linchpin in our team. He was out for 4 weeks with a groin strain, one of a few injuries we had during this run of results. And his absence, I think, was kind of felt in this run of games, if we're being honest. And yeah, this was another game where we were without him, unfortunately. Anyway, preceding that, we had another game in the league, this time against Charlton. Took the lead very early on. Unfortunately, we couldn't hold on to it. Again, looking at the stats, it was a close game. It was a very kind of hard-fought battle. In the end, probably either team could have won it. We had 2 clear-cut chances and 2 half chances. We didn't take them. Charlton took their opportunities very, very well indeed. Andy Carroll, he didn't have an impact for them, but Sean Goss, unfortunately for us, did have an impact. And yeah, well, Charlton running out victors, a team who have struggled a little bit this season, so that's somewhat disappointing, to slip up there. Anyway, 2 games in the cup competitions preceded that. In the Checkatrade Trophy, we won 3-1 against Yeovil to book a spot in the second knockout round, which is the board's expectation for this tournament for the year. We're going to be playing Portsmouth in that in mid-December, and the other game we had was against Grimsby Town, of course, a team who helped us out big time last season. Unfortunately, we didn't kind of let them win out of kind of a token of regards for the fact that they did obviously help us get promoted last year. In the end, we won that game 3-1. And then going into our last league game in this run of form, we took on Oldham, who were a team who at one point in this season were actually, I think, 4th in the league. Unfortunately for them, they've fallen way, way, way off the pace, and their finishing was pretty poor. Ours was even worse. and, 1-1 it finished. It wasn't a classic, put it that way. So that was our form. It's not been great. Right now, as you look at the league table, we do have a game in hand on Blackburn. Yes, Blackburn, the team who... They were struggling at one point. They've changed their manager. They're a new side under their new manager. You can see Tim Sherwood working miracles. He's been doing very, very well. They did lose to Wickham 3-0, but with the exception of that, lots and lots of wins in a row. And in a league, again, much like League 2 and even the Vanarama National preceding that, in a league where anyone seems to be able to beat everyone and the league is ridiculously close... I mean, Blackburn, they are currently top of the dog pile. Kind of looking at the points total here, you can see all the way really from Blackburn on 34 points down to the relegation zone. Just 13 points separating that kind of block of teams there. You know, teams who were going very strong, the likes of Portsmouth, even Coventry we played last episode, who were in 4th, now languishing down in 18th. This league... It's a little bit mad at the moment, if I'm being honest. It's ridiculously competitive, but we seem to be grinding out results still. One kind of maybe slight cause for concern is that the goals have dried up as far as kind of our strikers getting them is concerned. Really, James Maddison has been our saving grace in that regard. He's got 14 goals so far this season and 7 assists. Of course, Kevin Kelly had a decent total kind of earlier on in the season. He hasn't scored in his last 5 games, unfortunately, the Scotsman. So that is perhaps a little cause for concern there. Anyway, the 2 games that we've got coming up this episode are being played within kind of a few days of each of us. There might be a degree of rotation involved. Just one more little bit of news to let you guys know about. Gustavo Rojas of Panama. He got a work permit. I was surprised. If you don't know, when a player fails a work permit, obviously, as you've seen, you can still sign them. We've done that a few times, obviously. But what some people don't know is that you can actually appeal them. So you can appeal a player's work permit. I think you can do it every 3 months in England or every 6 months. And basically, you can just hope that they get one on appeal. And you can see if we just look, where will it be? It won't be that far away. The whole work permit deal. You can see here, unfortunately for us, Andrew Nicholas didn't get one, the Australian striker. However, Rojas was granted one, a conditional work permit, obviously down to the fact he is playing a lot of national team football for Panama. And well, speaking of Central American players who I've got my eyes on, there's one who we're currently looking at the moment, and it's, let's just have a look at him. Where is it? It's this guy. Ceciliano, I'm not sure if that's how we say his name. I might just call him Minor. Either way, you can see here, 18 years old, 1 cap for Costa Rica. I mentioned Panama and Costa Rica are 2 teams definitely worth checking out, or 2 nations definitely worth checking out if you're in League 1. This guy, 18 years old, fairly determined personality, left-footed. Looks like he could be a very, very good player. Might struggle to get a work permit, but his contract's expiring at the end of the year, which is nice. In fact, no, it's not. He's just on a youth contract. So I was able to approach to sign him anyway, and we're currently looking at signing him for just £400 a week, which would be an absolute bargain and obviously wouldn't have too heavier kind of impact, I guess, on our financial fair play kind of wage restrictions that we are kind of currently under. But anyway, let's get into today's first game. It's going to be away from home against Crewe. Looking at the kind of league, we've not won in our last 2 league games, so I'm looking for us to bounce back here. It's going to be tricky though. Crewe up in 8th. Bury, who we've also got today, up in 7th. I was a little bit paranoid when it came to live comming and choosing which teams to do for this kind of, I guess, this live com kind of for episode 50, just because Bury and Crewe, they could lose 1 game and fall as low down as 15th. So who knows, maybe when we take on Bury, they'll be kind of a mid-table team, or at least as far as the league shows. Anyway, in terms of our team for today's game, Elliott in goal. Holt comes in at left back. I think Chris Owens has been out for a little while. You can see suspended at the moment. So Holt comes in there. O'Neill at right back, very good option, of course. Harry Lennon returns from injury. He's kind of good to see. He's such a key player for us. We've definitely missed him. Alongside him, Packwood, who's been having a pretty good form. I am going to give McGeehan, a second chance. He got sent off on his second ever appearance for the club, but I'm going to put faith in the boy that he can come good for us. Alongside him, we've got Jake Hesketh. In the centre attacking mid position, we've got James Maddison rather. Out on the left, we've got Jack Barmby, a player who he's been injured a little bit, hasn't he, of course? He was out strained knee ligaments kind of last episode. He has come back from them. He has played, a few games here and there. And he's been doing very, very well for us. So hopefully we can get another good performance from him today. Mayor Waters at right midfield, a player who had a fantastic start to the season. Of late has maybe slowed down just a little bit, but I've got faith in him today to come big for us. And up top, at least to start today's game, we are going to go with Kevin Kelly. On the bench, we've got options though. We've got David Shaw, Mizag, Joe Edwards, Gustavo Rojas, James Murphy, McLaughlin, and Liam Evans is waiting in the wings if we need some goals. Maybe he's the man to get them on off the bench. Anyway, Jack Barmby struggling with match fitness, worth noting. Gustavo Rojas could potentially make his debut today, the Panama international. He is, of course, only just kind of the recipient, I guess, of his work permit. So this has been the first game that he is available to play. Anyway, I'm going to tell the players just to have some fun tonight. I want to encourage them as best we can. You can kind of see, looking at the team as a whole, we're not in too bad of a spot. Most players' condition is very, very good. Perhaps match fitness somewhat lacking. Jack Barmby still coming back from injury. On the flip side, Holt at left back, not played a whole lot of first team football. Has featured occasionally in the reserve team games. And I'm going to assume Williams has got an injury there. Yeah, he has. He's pulled his hamstring running. That's why you warm up, kids. If you're playing football, warm up properly. Takes 10 seconds and it can stop you pulling your hamstring within the first 17 seconds of a game, which is usually advised. Either way, they actually had half a chance there. I mean, the keeper dealt with it relatively comfortably, but I don't know, when the keeper spills a ball like that, I always get a little bit paranoid. But we are now on the attack. Can we maybe make something happen? Why not? Jack Barmby, McGeehan, forward to Hesketh. Got more men ahead. Madison, lots of intricate passing here. Kelly finds it, and Kelly finds the back of the net as well. 3 minutes gone. Kevin Kelly with the finish. Delightful little shot in the end. I think it was on his left peg. I'm not sure if this is a game in hand we have. You may have noticed when you looked at the league table, Millwall in third and Blackburn, who are top, they've played a game more than us. This might be our game in hand. We've had some weird kind of scheduling going on due to players being on international duty. And also the fact that the FA Cup on our databases, we've already established over the last few years, for some reason some games take place midweek in the FA Cup that aren't replays, and that is something that has kind of had a knock-on effect with our schedule. Just seen in the top right, Millwall are playing, so it probably is a full set of fixtures. You can see Burton actually beating Blackburn, doing us a favour. Blackburn, as I mentioned, they've been on a real resurgence. After we beat them on the opening day of the season, they didn't look that great. They've changed their manager and they're playing well, but we need to try and get a win here, because with Millwall winning, they could apply some pressure on us. But Blackburn losing 2-0, we have a chance. And Elliott, what a stop that is by the keeper. Armstrong probably should have scored there. In fact, he should have scored. There's no probably about it. It was a great opportunity for him. But unfortunately, as far as Crewe are concerned, we have dealt with that well. Although second ball into the box, Harry Lennon nods it clear. And, we live to fight another day. But, yeah, if Blackburn slip up a win here, a chance to, with a game in hand, go top of the league. And Mayor Waters, with a chance, smashes it at the keeper. Finish should have been better, could have been better. Maybe on another day would have been better too. It's still 1-0. It could have been another chance. We have got a set piece here, though. Madison whipped it in. Cleared away by Crewe. Maybe they'll be looking for the counter-attack here. They've got a lot of men in the attack. This is a little bit terrifying. But Holt does well to stand up his man and not let him turn around. And now we try and switch the play. Unfortunately, not finding our man. Although Packwood gets involved there. And, the ball hoofed into our half. O'Neill, just deal with this now. Just deal with this now. He's forgotten how to deal with it. Pickering's been gifted a goal. And he's not got the composure, has he, O'Neill? He's not got the composure. He's not a ball-playing defender by any means. And it just looked like here, he didn't know what to do. Should he go back to the keeper? Probably should. He gets dispossessed. Ball whipped into Pickering on the half volley. Nice finish by him in the end into the far post. And, Armstrong with the assist. Pickering with the goal. And, it's 1-1, isn't it? Not ideal. Crewe, they've looked like a bit of a threat in front of goal. They've had one clear-cut chance and 2 half chances. They are continuing to create opportunities as well, which we are going to have to be wary of. And, 1-1... it's probably a fair reflection of how this game's gone so far. Possession 50-50 as well. Both teams have had opportunities. Perhaps Crewe having a few better opportunities, but they've not taken them in the end. It was actually, of course, that mistake by us which let them in. And, Oldham, they're fighting back. It's 2-1 now in their game against Millwall. And there's a set piece here. Can we clear it off the line? We can. My heart just skipped a beat. Get the ball out of the box. Jack Barmby gets it forward to Kelly. Is there a chance of a counter? Probably not. There's not many men in the box, although Hesketh's there. Williams deals with it. It's going to be booted clear. Now with Holt. And, I knew that was a pointless highlight in my heart of hearts. But I wanted to believe that maybe we could hit them on the counter. At the break, it's only 1-1. Not particularly happy with how that half's gone so far, if I'm being completely honest. Jack Barmby doing well on his return from injury. Mayor Waters, though, at right back, not played great so far. But we'll stick with things as they are, at least initially. I want to give these players a chance to, change the tide of this game. We've had a bit of a shouty team talk at them. A little bit aggressive, a little bit angry, telling them it's not good enough. I'm hoping now for a response from our players. And I want to give these players a chance to respond. Looking at it, Madison not having the greatest of games. But the thing with James Madison is, He can have like what seems like a poor game, and then in the last 20 minutes he can grab 2. He's that kind of man, He needs just one good opportunity to score, and well, with his free kick prowess as well, there's always goals available when he's on the pitch. Anyway, Kevin Kelly not playing that great so far. Do I want to change things? I'm trying to think how I could change things, really. Because the thing is, Evans can actually play right mid. Not very well, but he could play there if we wanted him to. And Mayo Waters hasn't had the greatest of games, so maybe that's a logical change to make of sorts. Looking elsewhere, we've not got any bookings, which is nice. Hesketh's struggling a little bit. I'm going to take him off, and I'm going to bring in James Murphy as well, who had an impact actually last live com, so we'll give him an opportunity. Just the double change for now. We have got one sub left. Rojas maybe could still make his debut, but he's more of a defensive option on off the bench. That's centre mid and kind of centre back. But we'll see what we can do here. 10 minutes left. Crewe probably deserved of at least a point here, but we're going to keep fighting down to the death. Going to make our last change now. I'm going to bring off McGee, and I'm going to bring in Gustavo Rojas, the Panama international, a debut, just as he will have dreamt it against Crewe away from home. 3 minutes left in this game. A draw, not necessarily the worst result, but there is going to be time still in this game. Ball booted forward. O'Neill commits to getting to the ball and doesn't get there, and now Cooper beats him down the line. We need to stop this ball going into the box if we can. It's whipped in near post. It hits the woodwork. Crewe had a real chance to win that at the death with just 90 seconds left on the clock. They've squandered that chance. That said, this could be the end of match highlight, or it could be a late piece of drama for a highlight. Let's see what happens here. Crewe with the ball, kind of probing with it, trying to work out an opening, and well, it might come here now down the middle as Diamini has it. Options inside again with Finney. I'm a little bit nervous. Armstrong, dispossess him if you can. Fantastic tackle by Harry Lennon. Can we hit them on the counter? Jack Barnby, he's tiring a little bit out on the left wing. He probably should have been picked out. Rojas picks him out now, though. He's offside. Rojas almost with a fantastic ball through there. Unfortunately, the linesman's flag going to deny him, and well, with 15 seconds left in this game, an away draw, not the worst result in the world. It will kind of depend, I guess, how good or bad this result was on how teams around us in the league performed, because if the likes of Blackburn did slip up in the end, if Millwall maybe lost out to Oldham, this could be an important point and kind of not look so bad as it potentially would if, both those teams had won today. Anyway, that's a poor effort by Crewe. It's going to be 1-1 here as a full-time result at the Alexandra Stadium. Not the worst result, not the best result. I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy. Packwood had a good performance, though, to be fair. Obviously, Rojas didn't exactly have time to shine on off the bench. With that result, you can see Blackburn did lose in the end. Millwall won as well. 2-2-1 results there. Bury, who we've got next episode, they won 3-1 and go up to 4th. So we're now going to play the team in 4th, who, well, if they were to win, they could actually go ahead of us, albeit we do have that game in hand, which is still kind of crucial, and we do still have the best goal difference in the league, albeit by a kind of fairly slim margin. But anyway, let's see how we get on today. Kelly ends his goal drought, which is good. As I mentioned, he got some really good goals earlier on in the season, had slowed down a little bit of late. I think for our next game, it's going to be important to just rotate things around. Of course, we've not got long until that next game, so I am just going to make sure that all our players are rested up. You may notice here, we're currently without any injuries in the first team, which is kind of pretty pleasant. It's not something that I'm particularly used to, if I'm being honest. I'm going to take Kevin Holt off, and we're going to bring back in Chris Owens into the first team, a player who's playing pretty well this year. 2 goals, 1 assist, 6.98 average rating, not too bad at all for him at left back. And Bury up next. They are in 4th. This is going to be tricky. It's not going to be easy. Free transfer deadline is coming up, so that's not really of significance to us because we're not bringing in anyone, at least at the moment. And I'm kind of excited for this Bury game now. I was worried, as I said, that they were going to slip down to 15th. Instead, really the opposite's happened. They've climbed right up the league, and now it seems like a massive game for us, doesn't it? A draw against Crewe, it's okay. The fans seem, pretty happy with that. Of course, I think it's worth mentioning, I guess, that when I kind of judge, my team's performances, I'm kind of judging them based on where we are in the league table, which is that we're looking to win the league. We want to, we want to win the league if we can, or at least get that promotion. And the board confidence, they just want us to avoid relegation this year. Maybe I should be a little bit more, level-headed, I guess. It's very easy to forget, our expectations for this year. And it's also very easy to forget, as we've seen with Bury, who have climbed up to 4th, just how if we were to, say lose 3 on the bounce, I know we lost and screwed up a few times already this season, but if we were to lose a few games, it could cause us some problems. Anyway, you can see here, Siciliano looks like he might get a work permit. We'll have to wait and see. That's going to be decided on Tuesday, which is when we play Pompey. I imagine if I'm going to get that work permit, it's going to be on appeal, so we probably won't find that out today. But yeah, Bury up next. They are in 4th. It's going to be a very difficult game. Do you get it? Bury. I'm a genius. I'm a master of puns. I mean, I wasn't going to get through episode 50 without a pun, was I? I can't believe I've not said answers on a postcard yet. Now I've said that, it's going to pop into my head at some point later on in this next live com that's upcoming. But yeah, we're going to take on Bury. 2 1-1 draws in a row. It's not ideal, is it? It's not ideal. Today, though, we don't really have any injuries to worry about. You can see our team's fairly fit, recovered pretty well, with that rest that we gave them from training as well. Obviously, Liam Evans, very, very kind of match fit coming into today's game, which is good. He's got kind of ready and raring to go. In terms of Bury, if we just take a look at them real quick, I want to kind of have a look at how good their squad is. So let's do that. Let's actually look at their profile. That's probably a better way to do it, because they are climbing up the league, Bury. I'm not sure how good their form's been, so it's probably in my interest to check as well. Actually, looking at it here, you can see they've lost 2 of their last 4 games, and they've only, got 1 win in their last 4. They did beat Fleetwood last time out, and they have drawn against Birmingham, so some good results there, and they did only lose 1-0 against Blackburn. So, against some of the big dogs in this league, they've not done too badly at all, and it's going to be tricky for us today. But anyway, let's see how we get on. I don't know, again, if this is a game in hand. I don't think it is. Oh, actually, I do want to check one more thing real quick. I want to check Bury's kind of squad fitness. I'm just curious to know if their players have recovered. Looks like a few of them could be struggling, so this could be an interesting game for us. Of course, we do have the advantage of the fact that I sent my players on a rest. Anyway, look at the other games going on in the league. There are a few here of significance. Birmingham play Tranmere. Tranmere, down in 18th, of course, were promoted with us last year. Millwall, who are currently top of the league, take on Crewe, who we played just last match. Preston taking on Newport County away from home, maybe a tricky game for them there. And Blackburn are going to be away from home against Notts County, a team who I did notice have pulled off a few upsets this year, so maybe they can do us a favour too. It's very, very close at the top of the league, even with as many games as we've played gone. Of course, we're coming up to the halfway stage, and for us to be in an automatic promotion spot would obviously be a fantastic little target to try and achieve this year. We have a good team. It's a team that is very much kind of in development. I still feel like that. I feel like we've got some good young players. Are we ready for a promotion? Maybe not. But the way we've been performing this year, we've really, we've upset some big teams with some very kind of great results. You kind of look at live comms this season. I don't think we've lost a live com this year. Now I think about it, I think that last game was actually the first time we've not won one, which is pretty good when you consider the teams we've played against live. But anyway, we've got to deal with this here, and Elliott holds on to the ball. That was a great opportunity for Bury. A near post cross. Striker lacked any real meaningful connection though on it, and we did deal with it fairly well, but it could be coming straight back in our direction. Although O'Neill plays through Evans, and Evans, I feel like Evans before his injury, before his broken foot, he scores that last season. Unfortunately for us, he tries to put it around the keeper and he can't, and we have to settle for the corner here, which gets whipped in. McGee collects it, but some good attacking intent. I guess we are the home team here, so I do want us to seize the initiative. You can see, looking at early possession, Bury are actually having quite a lot of the ball, which is concerning. And now they're on the attack. Narrow angle here, smashed it into the side netting. Great opportunity for them as well. And we've had a fair few chances early on. It was actually an Elliott save, so fair play to the keeper. Ball headed clear as well by Harry Lennon. Page tries to put it back in the mixer. Hesketh should just deal with this. He does. I was getting a little bit worried there. And now Evans might be through. Second chance of the game. Can he pull it back actually? Options in the middle. Barmby's there. Jack Barmby, you wazzock. What an opportunity that was. We've had 2 clear-cut chances in the in the first 4 minutes of the game, both on the counter-attack. That was the pick of the bunch though, Jack Barmby. It wasn't an easy finish. But when the ball came to him and he had a lot of space, he had time to take a touch and he just lacked that composure. And he screwed the shot wide. And, we might be kicking ourselves here. We've got a set piece. Maddison whips it in. Harry Lennon even at the near post. I thought was going to get there. Wood collects it. O'Neill dispossesses him, says thank you very much. Don't give away the ball here. O'Neill making another mistake. Wood could be through. Elliott makes himself big, and Wood, he should have scored. He's put it over. And Elliott can breathe a sigh of relief. A great opportunity there for Bury. Again, a Luke O'Neill mistake. The right back, he's made a mistake obviously against Crewe last time out, which might have cost us 2 points. Actually, the more I think about it, the more that was definitely his fault. And here, he let Bury in for that initial chance that they had, which is a little bit concerning. But 25 minutes gone. Not sure how this game's still 0-0 because we've had lots of opportunities going either way. Possession has now started to even out. Newport County currently drawing and now currently beating Preston, so that's a result going in our favour up there in the top right. It's now 2-2. That game's kicking off all over the place. Birmingham also a goal down. 2 goals now down. Liam Kelly's doing us a favour. The scores, they're just flying in thick and fast in the top right. Now Birmingham have pulled one back. It's more exciting than the game here, isn't it? What's going on in the top right. I can tell the boys I'm not happy with that performance. Evans has missed a few key opportunities. He's not had the greatest of games. James Maddison, sorry, he's struggled a little bit. I'm going to take off McGeehan. He's already been sent off once this season. We're going to give Gustavo Rojas the nod. The Panama international going to come into the side. I'm going to stick with Evans at the moment up top, but we have got options obviously on the bench. We've got ways that we can change our strike force, to really push for the goal that we desperately crave. And we don't want to draw another game here. It sounds obvious, but you'd rather win a game and lose 2 than draw 3 in a row. Well, we lead this game anyway. Maddison, I said he didn't do a lot in the first half. I said about kind of how he's a player, you just have to give time, and it's another set piece for him. But yeah, just going back to the point I was making, obviously, if we draw this, it would be 3 draws in a row, and that would be the equivalent, obviously, to just 1 win. And whilst you might go 1 win in 3 doesn't sound that great, and 3 draws on the bounce doesn't look that bad, in reality, the draws, it quickly adds up. You're dropping 2 points every game. And this little run of draws that we're on, I don't feel particularly kind of comfortable about. So I want us to bounce back well here. Obviously, James Maddison getting the goal there is a lovely sight to see. Notts County now 2-0 up against Blackburn, so they are doing us a favour there. And we're on the attack again here. O'Neill, can we get another goal to be comfortable? Into Evans. Kept out, but O'Neill, second bite of the cherry, second ball in, make up for your mistake yesterday. Rojas has it, inside to Mayo Waters, whips it back post. Jack Barmby, he missed a clear-cut chance earlier. He's taken the chance that came his way today. And in this second half, it's 2-0. Great little bit of build-up play. Good to see, obviously, Rojas involved. Falls to Mayo Waters. Whips it to the back post. Jack Barmby on his uncomfortable right foot there, actually, on the volley with a very nice finish. Didn't hit it with a whole lot of power, but diverted it goalwards. The keeper couldn't stop it. Ended up parrying it into his own net. 20 minutes left in this game. I am going to take off Liam Evans. I'm going to bring it back in Kevin Kelly. Obviously, he did score last time out. Jake Hesketh, not had the greatest of games. I will just hold on to our last sub for now, just in case we need it. Still 20 minutes left to play in this game. Obviously, we did make that change to bring in Rojas at half-time. And, well, so far, he's on a 6.9. He's not doing too bad, the Panama international. Obviously, he did come on in the last game, but he didn't get an average rating because he was on the pitch for like 2 minutes. Gets a bit more of an opportunity today. Unfortunately, I was about to say we've made a defensive mistake there, but the finish was lacklustre as far as Bury are concerned. We have been let off the hook a few times in this match. You look at it, Bury, 2 clear-cut chances, 3 half chances. We're kind of somewhat fortuitous, I guess, to an extent to be 2 goals to the good here, but I'm not going to complain. And with 10 minutes left, it's fairly comfortable. Millwall are now all even against Crewe. It does look like, just kind of vaguely following the results in the top right, teams around us might have slipped up today, and that could work very, very much in our favour. Anyway, time just ticking away here. We have got one last sub. Let's bring on Mizag for Harry Lennon. Obviously, Lennon was out injured. 2 minutes left of the game. We don't want to risk him getting injured again, the captain. Kills a bit of time as well. Maddison whips it in. Page heads it clear. That is going to be all she wrote for this game, unless there's a very, very late chance. Either way, it's not going to change the overall outcome. We are going to get a much overdue win against a team who are going very strong, Bury. Their form's not been great of late, but they are 4th in the league for a reason. And so to win against these guys, a good little result certainly. And, hopefully we can now get back on the straight and narrow. 2 tough games we've had this kind of live com, and you'd have to say that we've played well in both games, really. The Crewe match, perhaps unfortunate to draw. Statistically, it was a fairly even game, but obviously I look at the individual mistake of O'Neill as a real turning point in that game. That was what obviously gifted them the goal. 2-0 finish. I actually tell the players I'm not that happy with how things have gone there. Unfortunately for us, Millwall won. They won 2-1 against Crewe. Blackburn did lose. Preston lost as well. Port Vale won 3-2 and so move up the table. But we have got a nice little 4-point cushion onto Port Vale. And we have also got a game in hand now. And with Blackburn slipping up, we do have a chance, obviously, to move top of the table whenever that game in hand is. And our goal difference looks very good. And you'd have to say, coming up to now the halfway point in the year, like a big thumbs up. It's everything that we could have hoped for this season, really. In terms of when we'll be back, it's a good question. I've not thought about it yet. I know we'll have Blackburn coming up sooner rather than later. That is coming up right at the end of December in about a month's time. In fact, it is in 31 days' time, so that makes sense to do as the next live com. Birmingham also a game there. Maybe if Birmingham are going strong, we'll do that as a double header. If not, I will see you guys for that Blackburn game. Going to be a big match for us, of course. We have got the FA Cup in between. I don't know if the third round would come before that Blackburn game. Maybe we'll be back for that if it is. But either way, as I said at the start, I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys for your ongoing support on this series. I'm really enjoying my time here at Hereford. This season particularly has been really fun. We're overperforming. The players are kind of doing well. We're getting a lot out of what we have. You know, you kind of look at our squad as a whole. It's not a team full of stars. We have a few key players, the likes of James Maddison, Liam Evans, Harry Lennon, the players who we really do rely on. If any one of them was to get injured, we could be in trouble. But right now, we are performing very, very well in the league, and hopefully we can obviously continue it, and with the game in hand, obviously find ourselves back on the top of the league before too long. So yeah, that's all from me, guys. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below. Maybe let me know down in the comments who is your favourite player of this series been so far. I'd love to know that down in the description. And other than that, if you have enjoyed, obviously leave a like. I will see you guys tomorrow or whenever next time is for episode 51. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.